Hey YouTube. Hey one person. Who'll be the one person that be coming on here real quick? Okay, guys, you into the room, give me a thumbs up. Say hey, hi for the algorithm, please. I would kindly appreciate it. Hey, hey y'all, come on in the room. Put your thumbs up. I appreciate it. I'm on early, 8:19. Go ahead and say hi, and then I will begin. I was trying to look for a thumbnail that will kind of convey the message that I'm going to talk about today. But I just put up one of my pictures. That was when my hair was longer and it was straight. So right now I'm trying to wait for this to grow out. Hopefully by the end of the year, it will be at a length, like, it'll be at a certain length, like, longer. And then I'll probably straighten it, blow dry it out, straighten it. But right now, it's just going to have to deal with the curliness and the shortness for now. Hey, what happened? Why you went down to one person? What happened to the other three? Where y'all at? Go ahead and say hey. Say hi for the algorithm. Go give me the thumbs up as you enter the room. Much appreciated. Oh, goodness. I said I was going to show y'all my dinner, but I already ate it. It was good. I had made me some chicken legs, like kind of not stewed per se, but it was in a roasting pan. I had a little bit of grits left over for breakfast, and I said I just could not throw it away because I said I'm just throwing away food. So I reheated that grits and ate that with the grits, and ate a half a sweet potato. So, and that was good. I ain't had no butter on it or nothing. It was just I just put a little bit of cinnamon, and it was delicious. I still got the other half wrapped up. So I'll probably if I get a little bit hungry later on tonight, I'll just eat the other half of the sweet potato and then steam me a broccoli spear and eat that. So, oh, wait. Come on now. What happened? Who's in the room now? Go ahead and say hi. Just say hello. Say something in the chat. I know some of y'all be driving. Some of y'all be working. So just to get an idea of who's in the room, just say hi if it's the usual people. All right, I'll wait for a couple more minutes. And then I'll start. Hey, y'all. All right, so as the topic that I'm going to be discussing is the state of the economy right now. Now, it's been pretty bad in the sense that nationwide um, prices have been going, not nationwide, worldwide rather, prices has been increasing, and inflation, numerous shortages at the stores, where even now the two major events that has occurred in the last week or so is what went on in China with that big company. There was a real estate development, and how they kind of um, defaulted on $1 billion of loans. And even though it was happening in China, it made the stock market worldwide, even here in the United States, took a tumble. Now, it's been the China economy, a lot of been watching a lot of different YouTube videos and how, people be focusing on all the state of America of being a third world country or getting there to a third world country and how, you know, how we're being bailed out and supported basically by China with all the goods coming in and everything else and all the shortages of products being shipped worldwide into these United States ports, how, you know, truck drivers, they're not able to pick up items and goods. The shipping costs have been quadrupled, which caused prices to rise. Caused the pandemic, that being an issue too. But let me explain some things. Now I know this might not be one of my normal discussions and things like that, and but over about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I said right before coronavirus came about that the economy is going to take a dip. You know, it's going to be take a dip in the economy. Hey, D nuts. And prior to the coronavirus, I always said in the future, within maybe a year, 2 years, the economy is going to be we're going to go into recession. Now, about hyperinflation and all that, I never expect that to happen about this high inflation, but I did know that the economy was going to be affected and be a downturn. It's cynical. It's cyclical. You know, things go up, things go down. You know, but I said 2 years is going to be some down. It's going to be some downfalls. Now, I always said that the coronavirus had exposed the state or the weakness of the economy, particularly small business and um, industries and all the other things that's been going on. So today they were showing in England how they were literally ran out of gas. People were lined up to the whatever in England that they were not able to get any gas. They ran out of gas. Not because there were problems with drilling of gas or whatever, or Beatrix or Britex. That's when England broke up with the European Union. But they didn't have any truck drivers to deliver gas. That's how bad it is. And I was watching this video on CNN, how this one person supposedly skipped the line to get gas, and this man pulled out a knife, and it was all up on the CNN on the videos. And then this person with the knife, he started kicking at the person's car, and he pulling out the knife, and then the guy tried to get away. He gets in front of the person's car, and he end up not running him over. He end up on the hood of the person's car, in the front of the windshield, all kind of mess. I was like, oh my goodness, really? And because of that, people started running to the gas stations up in England, lined up galore, headache. So I started thinking to myself, if there's shortages in England with people delivering the gas, that's happening here in the United States too. But it's not as crazy, but it is. But it will get there, unfortunately. And even then, months ago, they were saying there were shortages of drivers delivering the gas. Even here in Georgia, when that incident happened up there in the with the computer systems and the pipeline, up in the Northeast, it affected the East Coast in regards to having delivery of gas. Now, that only lasted a few days. It didn't last weeks and well, did it last for weeks? It lasted for a couple weeks, but it wasn't to the point where there was no kind of delivery of gas. You could drive around places in Atlanta. They had gas stations that were, they had gas. There was some that didn't have unleaded gas, but it wasn't as bad for what went on in England that I saw today. But the prices of gas has been expensive. It's not. It's like almost $3. I didn't go out today, so I don't know what it is. It was like $2.99, $2.97. But at one point, it was like $2.49. It went down for a while, and then it just now it's kind of like hovering at $3. $2.99 or something like that. So then, with that being said, they were saying how the energy, it was like 180%. So that means the gas is going to be going up in terms of, I have gas and electric. So I don't know how this winter is going to be in regards to prices of gas. But that could pretty much happen here in the United States with the deliveries. The problem with going on with all these shelves being empty and everything else is because they don't have truck drivers to get the items from the ports and deliver it to these stores. And this is not a United States issue. This is worldwide. Worldwide. And then on top of that, the weather, with the droughts going on around the world, not just in the Midwest and everything else, it's just not looking good. Now, in regards to the gig economy, now one thing that I was reading on CNN, you go on there, and it was saying about with having no gas delivered into England, and there's no gas stations. Gas stations are closing, and people lined up for hours just to get their tank filled. It was affecting essential workers, ambulance, police, people who need gas in their vehicles, not consumers. Because to be honest, if you as a consumer and the gas need to be allocated towards ambulance services, medical vehicles, police vehicles, fire trucks, maybe schools. But schools, you could always do virtual learning. Go right on back home. People could go to school from home and park those bus drivers. But ambulance, fire trucks, things like that, yes, those need to be allocated to get the gas, not food delivery for Uber Eats or Grubhub or anything else. So, yeah, some people may not be able to they don't have a car to go to the grocery store and things like that. Hey, DJ. And then I started thinking, I said, oh my goodness, if that happened in England, because, BP, British Petroleum, and Exxon, and all these big oil companies, if they've been had shortages of truck drivers. This ain't just happened this year, last year when coronavirus came. This has been an ongoing problem for years. It's just now it's catching up, where it's now exposing the lack of the economy of when it comes to workers, particularly truck driving. So I said, well, how is that going to affect the gig economy workers? How it's going to affect gig economy workers is that if there shortages of gas, and they talked about there's going to be 180% increase with gas pricing and shortages of drivers, that if that happens here in the United States, it's going to be, it's already starting. Now you have to now you have to you're not only focusing on shortages of food, now you got to worry about shortages of things like gasoline. And they had people hoarding gas, getting gas. And first of all, you're not storing it correctly. They were saying people were storing it in plastic jugs and barrels that's not even meant to hold gasoline. People are doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff here in the United States, doing stupid stuff like that. And even though gas is already 369, I was like, what? 369 for regular or how much is that? Because I ain't been out today. Is that regular or you talking about premium or medium grade? I don't know where you saw that at, but I didn't go outside and seen that price, so I don't know. I may have to go on that gas app and see. But if it's 369, usually gas prices change over what's today? Tuesday. Usually Tuesday, because of what happened in England and everything else going on, particularly in England with the gas shortage, it's now it's affecting here. Now it's coming over here, United States, affecting the prices. Because this story with the gas and situation happened this week in England. It wasn't last week, it wasn't 2 weeks ago, it happened now. So I guess now what happened over across the pond, like they like to say, what happened across the pond is now carried over. 369. Mm-mm. I'm so glad that I was able to transfer from Brazelton, Amazon to right up the street from the house because I got enough gas in both my cars. And trust and believe, I'm not gonna be driving a whole all over. So I'll wait and see if it goes down. But this ain't the first time that happened in Atlanta. That happened about a few years ago. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, about 4 years ago when they had that pipeline issues going on in the Texas, Alabama, and they had that issue with the gas, and it was the same thing happened here in Georgia. Let me see. I had the Kia Optima, but I want to say 5 years ago. Same thing. Gas was going up to $4 and some change. Back then, because of the there was no um, there was issues with the pipeline, and there was also issues with delivery of the gas. So, but that situation that happened and what's going on now is a combination of it's catching up. Put it that way. That's what I'm going to say. Do you remember that happened, DJ, about 5 years ago when the gas prices was going up to $4 and some change, and people were literally um, driving behind the quick trip trucks when they were delivering the gas, and everywhere you went, there was no gas. And then they had, so this happened before. This happened before. Gas was almost $4 and some change. About I want to say it was 5 years ago. And even then, prices was off the chain. Let me tell you. And this time around, that's just accumulation of what happened from 5 years ago. This ain't something. This has been building up, building up, building up, and been in the making for a long time. So if you work in the gig economy and you're doing food deliveries, groceries, and if first of all, that's going to affect you doing the gig work. Number one, take Instacart or ship because people, they want to order the groceries. First of all, the prices are going to be way much higher with Ship and Instacart when you order on the app and have your groceries delivered. It's going to be much higher than what the price is in the store. Two, You're not going to be able to get a lot of items because now, if you go to Sam's Club, Costco, or wherever, now there's limitations on how much package of chicken or meat you can get, and bread, not bread, but milk. They all said, "Oh, you only limited to two." First, it was five in Kroger a few weeks ago. In San Francisco Bay Area, the lowest gas price is $4 and some change now. $4, man. If I lived in California, and particularly San Francisco, Los Angeles, or even New York, I wouldn't have no car. I would not have a car. I would be taking the subway, bus, walk. If I lived in San Francisco, any of those cities like that, I wouldn't have no car. I sure wouldn't. I'll have a driver's license, most likely. But in terms of me having a car, if I lived in New York right today, I wouldn't have no vehicle. I would not. I never had a vehicle when I lived in New York. Never. I had took the train, the bus, walk. I ain't had no problem. Trust me. If I had to go back to New York today, I wouldn't drive. I would not drive to New York. I wouldn't go up there and say, "Oh, let me go to New York. Let me drive." Nope. I'm not driving 14 hours. Nope, would not. I would take the plane. They're gonna run out of toilet paper soon. Well, I had toilet paper from last year, so when I bought me that big thing at Aldi's, um, I still got me some toilet paper from there. So having toilet paper, running out of toilet paper, yeah, that's the least of the problems because to me, if you bought enough toilet paper from last year and one should still have some available, that's just me. And I bought it last year, so I ain't worried about toilet paper running out because they're gonna ration that and say, oh, you can only get so paper products in general anyway. You know, shoot, I ain't worried about running out of toilet paper because for some reason toilet paper could always seem to be in production in some way or form or fashion. Food, not having enough food, that's gonna be the thing. Going to the store, not hoarding, cause see, I ain't worried about no running no toilet paper. Not because even then when they first started, oh, we ain't had no toilet paper, and I had bought me like one big old, roll, not a roll, but like a 4-pack or whatever, Charmin double stuff or whatever, and I had that for a long time, you know. And then when I saw that big packs they had at Aldi's last year, I bought that. It was like $11 and some change. I don't know how many came in that pack. It was a lot though. And I bought it then. When I first saw it, I said, "Ooh, let me go and get this." I want to say one, two, three, four, five, six. I want to say it had 16 rolls, something like that. I know it was a lot. It was a big, huge package, and I had it for a long time, and I had still used the initial 4-pack rolls that I bought before, and then maybe a few months ago, I just started opening up the other pack. And sometimes I got so many different rolls of toilet paper, 3 rows, 2 rows downstairs, 3 rows in this room, some in the cabinet. I was like, I got all this toilet paper all over the place. But I ain't gonna run out of toilet paper anytime soon. Cause that's how much I bought. And besides, if I'm at work 3 days a week, 12 hours a day, or 3 days a week, you know, I'm not home on the other, I'm at work those majority of the time. So from the time I leave the house and get home and do that for 3 days in a row, the other, but Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, shoo. And if I'm out and about, even though some of these nasty bathrooms I be going to when I be doing my survey merchandising gigs, and sometimes I go to some of these restaurants and, or I say, oh, let me go to the bathroom. I got to. Kroger, especially Kroger. I don't understand why they can't seem to clean their bathrooms. And you gotta go in there, go out there. Excuse me, someone need to clean the bathroom. It's filthy. You know, just disgusting, just ridiculous. So I don't know, but toilet paper. Somehow or another, they'll always have. You can find some toilet paper. It ain't gonna be like, oh my god, it's gone. They'll limit it. That's what they're gonna do. If I have to buy paper towels, even though it ain't good to put paper towels in the toilet because it could mess up your toilet, But other than that, that's the I would say that's the least of my worries. You got to focus on. You're gonna have basic food. So I've been doing my little stockpiling with groceries. Well, if they don't have to clean it, that means you're gonna use it. You ain't gonna go and use no restroom and be, no, and just mess it up. Because if you gotta go to the bathroom, ain't no way I'm gonna use a filthy, nasty, filthy bathrooms. Just because you ain't gotta clean it, but you gotta use it. And I be thinking they don't clean the bathroom anyway. How you have a chart, a wall chart that you got to go in there and clean? You could tell some of these places don't even be sweeping. It look like they ain't been doing it for hours at a time. Like somebody just cleaned the bathroom at the end of the night one time after being open 20, after being open for 12 hours, and they don't even send anybody in to clean the bathroom throughout the day. They gonna clean the bathroom at the end of the night. So all 12 hours, people going in there using the bathroom. Then sometimes, mm-mm. And most of the time, it's like they don't even have any toilet paper. I was like, what the hell? What's going on here? No toilet paper, no nothing. And I said, how these people who work at the supermarket, Walmart, I'm quite sure they use the bathroom. How you go in the bathroom and you wash your hands and you ain't got no paper towels to wash your hands? I gotta go out the bathroom, and then go um and if they don't have no air, hand hand air to clean it, I was like, this is trifling. That's why I said, you know what? Try not to go to the bathroom when I'm out and about. But I don't know. But that ain't what I'm talking about. So let me get on topic. But in regards to this situation in England with the prices, ooh, they already had shortage of drivers. The United States. That's why that stuff is still stuck on the port of Los Angeles and the ports up there in California. They can't. They don't have anybody to come and get them to unload those trucks. That's the problem. I don't understand it. Hey, Lady TH. Maybe what they should do, in my opinion, because they're doing that for school bus drivers. They have the National Guard and people in the armed services driving the school buses up there in Virginia and Maryland or one of those places or both of those places. I don't know. Pennsylvania. I know two of the states, at least three, they got the National Guard driving the school buses for the kids and help them to take them to school. Which, in my opinion, rather than focusing on bringing these kids back to school, they need to let them do virtual school and stay home. Because this coronavirus thing has made a hot mess of newer cases as younger children. Now, I'm not talking about the ones who didn't qualify to get no vaccine, but the kids and younger people are getting this virus. And even the ones who's younger, like in their 18, 20-ish, they still ain't even try to take the vaccine. They like, I said, forget it. Forget it. I ain't no telling. You know what? Just let people die. Just let people die. And people, maybe something has to happen to some people in their families to finally wake up. I don't understand it. If you that reckless and that careless to not to still talk about I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna wait for more study. I'm gonna wait and see. I don't, I ain't heard no vaccine. I ain't heard no healthcare workers and police officers refusing to get no vaccine. I have not heard that. And if they refuse to get it, then they quit. So they if the ones who's the ones well, I did hear that. Let me take that back, Blue True. I did hear some of these healthcare workers and some of these police officers, and for that matter, some people in the NBA playing millions of dollars in basketball refused to get the virus. Like I said, they fall in the same category too. You get sick and you die because of something like that, so be it. So be it. You know, at this point, I would have taken out a life insurance if I was the spouse of some of these people and they said, I ain't taking it, I ain't doing it. I'll take a life insurance policy out. I'll get like a 20,000 or whatever the minimum is, but that don't require a health exam. I would take out a life insurance policy. I didn't say I didn't believe you. I said I do believe you because I did remember hearing it. They haven't said that too much about it, but if you work in the, as a healthcare, a police officer, and you dealing with people and you refuse to get vaccinated, quit. Because if I work in a hospital and I have people coming in there all the time, coming in there and coming in there, and I would be, I would be vaccinated because they've been had the vaccination available for healthcare workers when it first came out in January. In January, when they first rolled it out, the first group of people who were to get it were first responders, which include police officers, EMC workers, healthcare workers, doctors, nurses. They were the first ones that were able to get that vaccine months ago. Here it is going on October. 9 months later, they've been the first ones to get the vaccine before anybody else was to get it. And you trying to sit there and tell me that when they had all these millions of people who were in the first line of defense were qualified to get it and nothing happened to them? Well, the only reason why LeBron James probably finally got that vaccine was because if you have, if you played in New York and California, you couldn't play. So that's the only reason why he got it because he knew that if they had to, and he knew that if other cities started implementing um, that big places and arenas or large gatherings are going to require that they be vaccinated before they come to play. That's why he did it. He ain't trying to lose no millions of dollars by not playing. That's why he done. He done it because he looked at his own pocket. That's all. He looked at his own pocket and saw that if the NBA Players Association or the union stated that you don't get vaccinated, you can't play in certain cities that require that you get vaccinated. So, and trust me, they play in he. That means the only he got it because LeBron James played in for the Lakers in California, in the state of California. They require that people be vaccinated before they go into large venues. That's why, and because he plays in California, he can, that's why he had to get vaccinated because that means any Lakers home game in California in New York, you couldn't play. So he was like, "Shoot, they play. You play what? Lakers, Clippers, um, um, Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Um, Golden State. That's what I'm thinking of. Golden State, Clippers, Sacramento. One, two, three. Then, you then if you look at the football teams, he can't go to no football games and whatever. So and then you think New York, you can't play New York, you can't play the Knicks, you can't play the Nets. Baseball seasons, is coming around with the World Series and stuff and the playoffs. So New York is in it. So so that's why he got it, because he was like, well, shit. He can't go to the East Coast and he can't go on the West Coast, whether he playing or whether he going to go to some of these big major events so he could be seen. You know, so he finally got it. Finally got it because they know that they would have hounded him to death, and it would have been a matter of millions of dollars. You know, that's what that was. That's exactly what that was. Because Lord forgot, Lord forbid if somebody he got it, they would have done everything possible. Oh, they would have given the perfect care. Shoot. And then what would have happened if they said, "Oh, LeBron James got the COVID"? They would have had all the they would have rolled up the red carpet, make sure that he got treated, and then people, regular folks, you know, would have to wait in hospital lines and wait in lobbies and all that kind of stuff. I'm sorry, I ain't going through all that. You know, see, it ain't even about race at this point. You got money, you can go right ahead and do whatever you could do. You ain't got to expose yourself to that. So people were, in the beginning, they were paying people to be first to get that vaccine in the beginning. You know, he just doing that for publicity. Oh, I finally let me map my announcement. I finally got the vaccine, so he could get all this press coverage, publicity, especially since the fact that you so-called have a movie um, production company, and you sit up in here and you be gambling. You are focused about losing that money. That's all that is. Shoot, I'm not. I mean, I like what he does with the community and everything like that, but I just think sometimes LeBron James is nothing but a prima donna. You know, there's something about I just don't. I'm not. I've never been a LeBron James fan. I ain't never been like, oh my God, LeBron James. I ain't never been a Michael Jordan fan either. I have not been a fan of those two, especially Michael Jordan. With his ain't so much about he being a cheater. It's just no. Only reason I like LeBron James as a person is because he opened up that school up in Los Angeles, and he does do a lot of things in the community. But for me to say, "Oh my God, I want him to win the champion," nah, nope. Mm-mm. Just like I wasn't too much of a Kobe fan. I wasn't, a lot of people like, "Oh, Kobe," and then I wasn't too crazy about Kobe. I wasn't that crazy about him as a player. I just felt they too much of a prima donna, and a lot of people didn't even like Kobe Bryant. I didn't know why all these people coming forward when he passed or he died and stuff. Everybody like, oh, Kobe, my brother. Kobe didn't give two shits about 90% of the people he played with. Kobe played, did what he had to do, and left and gone home. He was not, I don't even know why when people pass away and die, they all of a sudden they want to be crying and carrying on like he was like a little brother to me. The only person that he probably would have really said that was a brother or looked up to was Michael Jordan. All the rest of them, nope, nope. Kobe went there, did what he had to do, and went back home. He didn't interact with people. I don't know why they people coming at their funeral acting like, you know, his own family didn't too much. even been around him, and he made it real public about his relationship with his father and his parents. So I don't know why people acting all whatever. Only reason why it was so sad was because the little, his daughter died in the plane crash with him, and that and his wife and all his other children and stuff. Other than that, and like I said, I don't know Kobe Bryant like that to be carrying on like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I did cry when Whitney Houston died. Sat on that couch and watched that funeral. But see, um, I just, I don't know. Some people, idolize certain people for whatever, and there's certain people I just didn't be like, okay, whatever. But I don't know. All I know is the way how this economy is going with all this stuff going on, and it seems like every month it's getting worse and worse overall, you know. And I don't know what's going to happen because as a gig worker, whether you do Uber Eats and Grubhub or Lyft and Instacart or whatever, particularly those type of jobs, is prices of at fast food restaurants are extremely high, and I don't really see a lot of people doing, um, like DoorDash and stuff as much like I used to. I see some people doing it if I do go to Chick-fil-A, and I'll see someone coming in to pick up um, um, DoorDash, and I ask them, I say, well, how's it going? And I tell them I did it a few years ago, and how the rates are now. It's like people like, well, I don't do anything. I don't accept any orders that's less than um, $7 or $8 or whatever. And some of the people I speak to, they really doing it part time. Really really part time, just to make a little bit of money. They really doing it part time. I have not seen anyone that put any commitment of working and doing it like they used to do it. You know, you can't even multi app anymore because I haven't even heard too much going on about Uber Eats. See, I heard everything I'm hearing now. Oh, I see people is DoorDash. I don't know what it is with DoorDash, but even Uber Eats is kind of not even around anymore. At least not when here in Atlanta. I haven't seen it. Even Terry Tips. I don't know. He used to be on here. He jumped on here a couple weeks ago, but I don't even. I thought I sworn I saw Terry Tips video that he was doing DoorDash. I don't remember him doing even talking about Uber Eats. I wanted to say he was doing DoorDash. And I don't hear too many people about Grubhub. Like like I told you, I used to be Grubhub and Grubhub, Uber Eats, and those, and even 4 years ago or 5 years ago now, when I did Uber Eats, it wasn't even like a regular thing for me. It was something just to fill in with the income I was doing with Grubhub. Shoo. So I don't know. We need to start focusing on what's going on in other countries and see what's going on there, because even when they mentioned what's going on in England with the prices, they were even talking about the gig workers and how people, because in England they have Uber Eats and stuff and food deliveries too. So I think for them to make money has came to a complete halt, and it had nothing to do because unless you do it on a bicycle or you got a e-bike or electric bike. I saw an ad for electric bike a couple of days ago. I was like, ooh, I would love to get me an e-bike, but I said, shoot, I barely be on this bike at home exercising. So I would be like, I would get me an e-bike. I sure would. There's a bicycle shop on 78 I think I'm gonna go there. It's tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm gonna go there tomorrow just to see what what those prices go for. I know it's expensive, very expensive, but I would I would be investing in an e-bike. If I lived in England and I had to go around, I would get me an electric bike or a regular bicycle, and I'll be just bicycling away. I sure would. And I would, and like I said, if I lived in New York or Los Angeles, I'll be taking public transportation. I won't be taking no Uber. Let me get an Uber. I'll take public transportation, bus, and walk. So I think um, the way how with this petroleum gas and stuff, it's gonna I was reading something about transitioning from fossil fuel gas to go electric or change over cars. The future of people having cars that do gas, that's gonna be changed over. It may not be happening right away. It ain't gonna happen, right away, but it's gonna get there. It's gonna soon go there. If anything that happens within these last year and a half, 2 years, with the economy going, people are gonna have to start transitioning. You know, you either gonna, electric cars, and I don't think I would even get an electric car because those are expensive. I wouldn't even think I'll get an electric car when I get to a certain age or whatever, and I'm just moving. When I get to a certain age, when I get to my age, 60s, going to my 70s or whatever, I got to start thinking about if I'm going to do the van life or um, camping or whatever, you know, get me one of those RVs and stuff. Shoot, I'm going to start looking into transitioning and downsizing, you know, transitioning and downsizing and start, I don't have to be traveling all over the place. I would settle somewhere. It won't be here in Atlanta. I know for a fact I would not be living in Atlanta when it's time for me to retire. That I would not do. I know for a fact I will have this house as an investment property and get income from my investment from this house, move either probably back to most likely South Carolina, you know. When I get in my 60s or so, my mother will be what, 80? Yeah, she'll be 80ish or so, whatever. She already said she's gonna downsize from the house that she bought 5 years ago. She gonna buy something smaller or sell that house or whatever she said she's gonna do. And was looking into like these townhomes that she saw that she said it was being built. And she said she's gonna wait because she said these houses and prices are gonna go down in these houses, and she'll sell the one she got the second house and probably move somewhere smaller. You know, she said she was tired of cutting grass, even though the house is on a golf course, and just downsize. And this, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna downsize this current house. Ain't no point in me having all this space. I don't even. Last time I've been sitting downstairs in my downstairs. I mean, I go in the kitchen to cook, but in terms of like staying downstairs, there's no TV down there. I need to fix the ceiling downstairs. One of that water flushed down from this down here. It had caused all that water damage, and I gotta fix that. And I don't even have a TV down there. The TV's here, and I don't even have cable. This TV ain't been turned on. I don't have no fire stick, and I'm gonna figure out if I can get a fire stick and see if I could use a fire stick to watch TV over here. But I don't have cable. I have internet, and I watch TV on my phone or I watch programs on my computer. But I pretty much stay in, I'll come in this room, watch whatever TV, go in my other room, go to sleep. And then when I finish um, configuring the other room that's going to be my office, when I go back to work at TurboTax, of course, I'm going to use the other room as my other office. And then the other room that's in the back, ain't nothing in there. It's just empty. I don't have guests coming over. I don't have people coming over to stay. And I don't have no extra bed. I have an air mattress that's in the closet. But other than that, I'm not buying another bed for guests. I'm not doing that because nobody hasn't came to visit since 2 years ago when my mother came to visit and my grandmother came to visit. Other than that, you know, all these prices going up, gas, electric, and everything going up. I try not to see my gas prices and stuff when I get my electric bill and gas bill. It hasn't been high because there's no reason for me to turn on the air conditioner. There's no reason for me to turn on the heat because it's not cold. And I'm not gonna when it get. I don't know how the weather's gonna be this winter, fall winter. If it's gonna be freezing cold, but with this new units that I bought, it should be very efficient. So I shouldn't be burning up a lot of gas, and I don't be trying to do a whole bunch of cooking like that. So I don't cook every day. Well, I do cook breakfast and stuff, but in terms of price of gas bill going up. Well, thank you. I just made up any thumbnail. I couldn't even find a thumbnail that I wanted to use, so I just said, let me put one of these pictures up. That was that was when my hair was long. It was nice and pressed out. So I'm trying to grow my hair back, and then I'm having it pressed out like I had it before, like that picture you got. I'm just waiting for my hair to grow out more, and I'm just gonna press it. That's probably one of my better pictures too. I have a whole bunch of pictures that's on my file of different pictures and different looks and everything else. But I don't know. Like I said, you got to watch what's going on in the world internationally because well, thank you. You got to watch what's going on in the world. Let me tell you, because things that's going on in China, England, all over the world, it affects what goes on here in the United States. And I don't know what people gonna do. I don't know. I'm so curious. I haven't seen any. She always looks cute. Well, thank you, Des Nuts. These nuts. I hate to say what y'all say when I come out here looking like this. My hair, I shampooed it that other day. Remember I told y'all I had shampooed it and I put that coconut oil in the castor oil, Jamaican castor oil. My hair had looking shiny. Now look at it. It still got a little bit of moisture, but I'm gonna let this grow right on out. Let it grow. Let it grow out. It'll take us, but I don't know. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering. I haven't seen anybody talk about the gig work and doing Grubhub and Uber Eats and stuff like I used to see it. And I can't even remember some people's channel. Well, thank you. See, I knew you was gonna come back the next day. You got all mad at yesterday, D nuts yesterday, like, you know, because I was telling you about that dumb heifer up in Bergman McDonald's Sunday. But hey, I only got 3 thumbs up and 7 of y'all. Go ahead, thumbs up. I need me more subscribers. Y'all ain't. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers because I don't know. YouTube be, eventually they gonna probably be tripping if you don't have an active account or something. They may start booting people off. So, and this is my outlet. I get on YouTube. This channel ain't nothing more than a vlog. You are not sensitive. You know you like that. So stop acting like that's new. Yeah, where's Sally at? And where's these nuts? Stop acting like you for that fake crying. You know you ain't even sensitive. You trying to get sympathy. See, Sally probably working doing Instacart or Lyft. You know she would tell you to cut that out. But anyways, today we had our class, generation, and we had a group assignments and stuff to do. No, not yeah, group assignments, role playing. Yeah, Sally would tell you that too. Stop being fresh. I know she's out driving and stuff because usually she'd be on here, but she probably be on here if I stay up here for 3 hours. But I don't think I'm gonna do that tonight. But yeah, so today we had our little group breakout groups to do assignments on soft skills, and I was in a room with three other people, and we supposed to role play. What's this thing? I hate when I keep the window open. Things be flying in this through this window. I'm gonna have to shut this window eventually. And we supposed to role play like communication skills, you know, nonverbal communication skills, verbal communication skills. We supposed to role play, and it gives you the instructions, on what the paper said. I'm like, which one we gonna do? So I called. I said, I'll be the observer because I was tired of talking. It's like, every time we do group stuff, it's like people want to sit back and don't want to do nothing. And I said, okay, which one we gonna do? Which scenario? 102. And people sitting there, they ain't responding, they ain't saying nothing. They like, hello, you're still there? I'm looking at you on film. One person he had the film on. I said, so and so, you supposed to turn the camera on. You know, are you still driving, girl? What do you mean driving? I wasn't driving anywhere. Do I look like I'm driving? Driving what? What are you talking about? And I've never seen your name before. Bell Chick. But anyway, let me tell you. So in class, so one of the things we had to do, nobody he said, well, if y'all don't want to do it, you can sit back and just talk amongst each other, get to know each other or whatever, right? So no, and so then what happened? Oh, so anyway, I'm saying, okay, who wants to be, who wants to go first with the thing? So nobody, they still didn't respond to do nothing. I was like, so I went back into the main room and told the instructor. And I said, we're not getting nowhere. I don't know what people, they act like they don't want to do anything, whatever. And he said, well, and I said, I don't want to feel like I'm doing all the talking and being, you know, taking charge. Ain't nothing wrong with taking charge. Sometimes you got to be the, sometimes you got to take charge in situations and blah blah blah. Right? So I said, okay. So I went back into the room. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Oh, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing, but I'm doing other apps, but not Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats, none of that. I'm doing survey.com where I go to different stores. I'm doing that. But if you go in the description box, it lists various different things. But I'm doing basically survey.com or merchandising, go to different stores. I can make $20 or 15 or whatever. But it's been pretty good. But I'll do a video. I'm going to tape a video because I finally figured out how to do the screen and show what the main gig that I'm doing. But I'm just working at Amazon 3 days a week, full time. And I'm taking this class or program that's on nonprofit organization to become a software developer. So I'm trying to transition to a new career, but I'm still working. I'll be going back to TurboTax December during the tax season and working at Amazon. Unless I decide to say, you know what, I can't take it no more. It's too much for my body, too much on your feet. But I'm going to see. I'm going to hang in there a little bit longer just to take advantage of the perks before I decide to, like, you know what, this ain't working. So, but that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing Grubhub and all that stuff anymore. Those things in Atlanta has fallen to the wayside, basically. All those people, I know if you was watching other people's videos talking about Grubhub and Uber Eats and DoorDash, I don't even see those people make videos about that no more. Some people were doing, even they were doing Uber. I haven't heard much people who was making videos doing it anymore. So I don't know. That been almost 5 years ago. Can you believe it? But anyway, so back to the thing in class today. So I went back. I said, okay. I said, all right, I'll role play, and I'll be a manager and pretend you work. The scenario was given that you're supposed to be upset about the person's job performance, and you're supposed to role play. I said, okay, let me start first. So maybe if I break the ice and then people will pick on and know what to do. So I did it, Then the other girl, she was supposed to observe. So then this other guy, he comes in there, what we doing? I was like, 10 minutes later, you asking what we doing, and the instructions were given. I said, what I did was you did a role play. I just did the manager about communication skills. And I said, so what do you want to do? Do you want to be the observer, or do you want to do the role play and be nonverbal communication skills? We didn't ask you what nonverbal communication skills. You're supposed to role play it. So he was like, well, nonverbal communication skills is when you don't know. I was like, I said, do people not read? They're not, but people paying attention as what we're supposed to do. So I left. I left the room. Okay, congratulations, stenographer. I too decided to go back to school. It's been 2 years, and well, congratulations, Bail Chick. What school did you go to doing that? But let me finish the story. I finished my thought. So I went back to the room, and I basically told the lead instructor, or the instructor rather, what happened the day before. And I pretty much said that I'm a type of person, I know I have to work on being patient. But I said yesterday, I told him about the incident with the particular person about, people coming off kind of rude. And I said, I know I have to, I told him pretty much I ignored it and just moved on. But I said, I can't let stuff piled up and bent up that feeling because it's going to come out the wrong way. Somebody's going to say something the wrong way one day. And I'm going to, say, well, everybody don't work well with each other. And I said, I agree. That's true. But I said, but there's a certain level of respect that needs to be given too. So he trying to make excuses with this other guy. I told him, he was looking, he had head ears in his ears. He looking up, doing other stuff. Well, some people, they set their monitor and multiple monitors and they be looking, and sometimes you think they're not paying attention when you speak. And I said, no, This was not the case, because you could see the person's background, that they weren't just looking at another monitor. They had two monitors. He was strictly doing something totally different. Like he was concentrating. The one I was telling y'all yesterday, if y'all was in the room last night, when I was asking him, and he was like real rude about he couldn't find a job, and he went to Australia. He was in Australia, and he moved to the United States, and he made it sound like he had this big ass job doing this and that or whatever. Him. It was, I was talking about him and the other guy. So I said I'll just leave. I'll just exit the room or whatever, because I said I'm not here for nobody else. I'm here for me. But I said I'm not gonna be disrespected. You're supposed to work on a project. And I said, well, dang, if we're gonna work on team projects, and we couldn't even, and people can't even do a simple assignment, and they like, I can't work with people who's like, well, let's go and sit back, don't do nothing. I'm like, really, y'all? Y'all just they don't even talk during the class when he asks people, well, what is your opinion about? And people get off the mute, and you give your opinion. It's like me and maybe about 4 or 5 other people be always the one interacting. Now, some people starting to talk, but I was like, it's 60 something people in this cohort. So I was like, I sure hope, I said, I hope we don't have to do group projects and write code and be in teams. But I said, I think we are going to be in that situation as the program progresses and stuff. But I don't know. I had to say what I had to say and get it off my chest, because even though it's free, it's a free program and through a nonprofit organization, from Monday through Friday, from 11 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. That's a lot of time to be doing things for the next 15 weeks, because, see, I usually be working around those times, during the weekdays and stuff. So I'll be doing some of my merchandising assignments and stuff like that. So now I can't even work my assignments during the week. At least I have to wait, I could wait in the evening time. But if we're going to be finished at 7 o'clock, and then of course I'm going to have to study, practice and rest, because if I get off at Sunday morning at 6:30, I'm going home resting. And sometimes it may take a lot, for me to rest all day Sunday morning, afternoon, evenings. So I'm not really able to do a lot of the assignments even on the Sunday. Now I have an assignment to do Sundays by going back to these Sam's Clubs and stuff. But sometimes, with my feet being tired and I'm physically tired, it's gonna be a lot. So I have to juggle this. And then when December comes, that's when TurboTax come back around. But I do this, I have to do a refresher training for a couple of weeks in December, and then January, I start up again. But the good thing is, in January, sometime towards the middle of January, the program will be finished. So sometime in the middle of January, I'll be finished, and then, I'll be completed the training for junior web development. And at that point, that's when I start to find a entry level position as a full stack web developer or software developer. And that's why I'm trying to stick along. That's why I'm trying to hang on with Amazon, because I know if I go to apply for the internal positions and jobs, they have those type of positions at Amazon. So I'm trying to stay at Amazon so I could apply as an internal employee for the position. And even the same thing with TurboTax. They got positions. Every company or organization they need positions. They have positions for software developers. Every company, every small, big, medium, large. Even if I was doing like a independent contractor, like I'm gonna start. If y'all want to do a website or y'all doing a business, I probably promote my skills on Fiverr. Help people do a little website, page. Charge about $300, $400, $500, and if someone needs a website, built, not doing WordPress. I know some people be trying to use WordPress or one of those plug and play websites to do a simple page, but that's just a landing page. That's not like a full interactive website. If you really serious about um, your website and trying to do a business, yeah, you could use WordPress. But a lot of people, when I've been watching, looking at different people's websites, I said, there's just one simple landing page, but um, it's not a functional pro. It's not a functional one. That's what I'm saying. So, but Bill Chick, what school did you go to do sonograph? Because I don't remember seeing your name on anything before. So please comment and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Oh, my foot. Dang it. I need to drink some water. Hey, what happened? You ain't saying nothing. These nuts, Shelly Shell, Blue True, Dijor. I see 5 of y'all in the chat. So it's 5 for 5. Up now it's back to 7. Come on into the hit the thumbs up. You ain't saying anything, these nuts, other than what you got to say on this topic that we talking about. And do you do the gig work, or you just jumped on here because what is you? Because I don't really get hear too much about you. Y'all better come and say something quick, because I'm not gonna stay on here long. I'm not doing 2-3 hours like before. So you ain't mentioned too much about rents. Somebody, where was that? Who was I talking to one time? Oh, I know it was. It was Wayfair. It was a girl. She was talking about starting a business. A business. What did she call it? It had a real catchy name too. What did she call her? She had. It was an app she wanted to develop and doing something with laundry, picking up laundry. What did she call it? I can't remember. It had a real catchy name. And these nuts, why you never respond to my email? I sent you an email message, but you ain't never responded back after that. You never thought about doing the other what about the other gigs? Is that busy where you are, or is just not doing nothing going on? Not to say that I would do it, but these gas prices is just too ridiculous. Nope, you didn't. You claim you was gonna call, but you didn't. So Oh, what's tomorrow? Wednesday. Dang, then Thursday gotta go to work. Man, I should take off Thursday, but I say, you know what? I don't want to use above my time. I'm gonna see how it goes tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, Thursday. Y'all be just talking about hitting Powerball. What are the chances of that happening? I wouldn't even and shoot. I wouldn't know nothing about playing no lottery. I'll go there and ask them what's the boost the biggest, how much what cost, and buy one ticket. That's it. I'm not spending all my money on no lottery. All right, that's what you say. When people be talking about lied to let you miss me, I'll be moving on. I'm gonna jinx somebody's ticket. You cannot jinx anybody's ticket. If anything, I might be a lucky charm because the person who won a lottery ticket in Georgia so happened to live in this subdivision a couple few years ago when that ticket was real high. How is that negative? How is that negative? What did I say that was negative? Anyone knows that the chances of winning a lottery ticket is one in every million chance as more people play. Stakeholders, you cannot, you cannot, you cannot plan your investments. Oh, that's all right. I'm speaking to D nuts because he talking about I'm being negative because I mentioned about lottery ticket. I said the chances of winning is one in a million or something odds, and I'm being negative. And I said that if I was to buy a ticket, I buy one ticket and that's it. Yeah, but what's the chance? I mean, come on now. Let's think about all these people who so-called won these lottery millions of dollars. First of all, first of all, the ones that had won in the past and they have record of all these people who won these big lottery tickets in 5 years, they end up losing all that money. That's a fact. Well, who else money you think is going to be? We're not talking about it's just your money. You win. You can spend your money however you wish to spend it. I'm just saying. The ones that if you if you spend all of your money to buy lottery tickets, like I see these people be doing here in Atlanta, $20, $100. I mean, they be constantly they end up spending five, six, seven, $1,000 or whatever, and they ain't got no money with scratch offs and then let me get $20. They do that and they be doing that every 20, $50 every day, going in there spending, scratch it off. Nope. I'm talking about the odds of people winning. A person, see, I could go there and spend and say, okay, I'm gonna drag up this change in this bucket and say, let me go down to the nearest quick trip and say, what's the one that's got the biggest lottery? And I say, okay, he and give them the change pennies or whatever. All right, let me get one ticket, and that's it. Me buying a one ticket and someone buying 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80 tickets, the chances of, all right, fine, you keep saying that. Ain't nobody keep you hostage in the room. People always be thinking I'm supposed to be, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, spend all your money on the lottery. That's your money. That is true. I'm talking about me, not you. People always be thinking, ain't being negative. No, because they know it's true. They know it's true. Why would I want to spend my money and buy a whole bunch of tickets to try to hit some big lottery that it has 1 in a million chance? And that's fact. That is not negative. And then people who did win, and then the people who do win that lottery, number one, by the time the state, the federal, lawyers, and all these other advisors that people do not really seek get a cut of that money, you ain't hardly left with anything based on what you won. And it's a given fact that every person who's been noticed to know to win that lottery, they end up losing it in 5 years. And this has been going on for the last 25 years, 30 years, if not more. They had that big fat white man, that big fat man, that big fat white black guy back in New York back in the day. He used to wear a white suit, and he won that New York lottery. And he was all on TV, all on the commercials, and everything. I can't remember him, but this was back in the. I remember in the late 80s, and they featured him, and he was like, "I won the New York lottery." And he had his white suit on and black. I mean, real sharp, pokey looking man. And man, I think that after if I could remember what I remember, he ended up going broke. He had all that money just going all across town, doing all the kind of stuff. Nope. All that money was this person after person after person after person. Even the movie they did with Timothy Kane and the waitress, and it was featured. It was a movie with Rosie Perez and this other black guy. He was supposed to be a New York Post reporter. That was a true story, Joe. That was a true story. They the waitress, he promised the waitress in New York and he was gonna give her half of the lottery money ticket, and the wife and him, and they went through a divorce, and that thing, I remember that story. I remember the true story of that. I was young, but I remember that story. They had all the New York Post and the trial, and how they were saying, who was entitled to, was she entitled half of the money as the waitress he promised? And he was a New York cop. Now the story was switched around in the movie a little bit, but when it was all said and done, the lawyer he left with the money. By the time that thing dragged through court, that thing dragged on the court. Man, nope. So many people wish they didn't win the lottery. When they won, they wish they didn't win. So just give me a few thousands or whatever. Say, okay, you won 500,000. Just take me that. I ain't got to win all that money like that. I mean, because the chances of winning is very slim to none. And if I was to win that, if I was by some for some godforsaken chance, if I was to win it like that, it would be months before I come forward to say anything. I'll wait until the last minute until it was the state law to come forward. And then after that, I would have to make legal advice and say, do I have to say my name? Do I have to show my face? Sure would. Sure. I see too many people, habitual gamblers. They spending all their money. I said, by the time you do all that, you could have put that money in a Roth IRA account, retirement fund. Shoot, better yet, you better off buying a couple of stocks. You know, I do not, my investments is not based on no lottery. I do not do my financial planning in hopes of winning some lottery. I'll play for $1. If I was going to a casino, people say, oh, I got this $20. And this $20, once this $20 is gone, that's it. If I come out that lottery, after the buffet and all the little free little drinks they give for the bus trip, if I come back and I made money from it, I'll say, oh, I made $30. I made 10, or $20 more, or whatever. That's it. I ain't spending on all that. Shoot. That thing ain't nothing but a racket and ain't nothing but a setup. They're just to keep black folks poor. Shoot. You see more poor black folks and people of other color and races, particularly black folks. I only can't speak about Mexicans and other races, but shoot. Man, those little convenience stores, they be making money. They don't be selling the nasty chips and stuff they sell at these good stores. But they'll make money on that lottery. No, I'm gonna make somebody else make their money. You better pay $1, pay $1, $2 or whatever, $5 the most. That's it. And if you win, if you get 3, 4 numbers, they say, "Oh, you got $10,000." I will be happy if I won that. But I'm not spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars every day, every month. Hell no. So these nuts, if you want to talk about that's your money, yeah, that's your money. But don't come talk. But don't be you so critical. That's one thing about you. Yesterday you want to talk about you need to be nice. After I explained and told the story about people being act like they want to act a fool with me at McDonald's, you think I'm supposed to sit there and be nice? Then you coming back. Then you coming back. Um, it's my money, right? I'm out. And because I say something, I'm being negative. Okay. Shoo. That ain't not being negative when you stating facts. Ain't not one person who won that big lottery that been featured on TV said they came back with money and made it and kept it. Even those people who come in the lottery as a group, talk about the whole plant, about 20 something people, it was 20 something people, whatever, they won that big lottery a few years ago. I think they lived in Ohio. By the time they split all that money up between all of them, minus the taxes, minus the lawyer fees, minus all the paperwork to distribute that money separately, man, they weren't no better off. They were not better off. How you gonna split millions of dollars amongst 20 something people at a plant because they all went into some lottery pool? People don't see, they don't tell the true story. People see one big old paper check, people holding up. We won 125 million. 20 people won 100, whatever it was. I don't even know what the amount was. Whatever the amount is, 20 some people holding up one big paper check. We won. Did you realize that that By the time they broke up that money, because they might have bought it as a group, but the person who actually claimed the ticket, they didn't have to see y'all don't know the backstory. See, I'll be investigating stuff like this. Maybe I need to do me a channel on let me investigate the true story on certain stupid stuff. Those people, 20 something people, went into a lottery pool to win the money. Only one person legally claims the money. That one person who bought the ticket, signed the ticket. You ain't see 25 names signed on a lottery ticket. It was one person that came down there to that state lottery office, claimed that money, turned around. They had this. They had to produce saying that this was a group affair, and they had to draw up paperwork that if they was to win this lottery, da 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 da, all that legal stuff and the backdrop had to be done before all those 25 people showed up on the camera, all up on TV. Before they could hold up that big paper check, oh, we won. They had to do some legal work prior to that distribution of that check, and had to draw up paperwork, had to draw up a lot of things that this money is going to be allocated or given out to the number of people on this contract. And then they had to determine how they were going to where they were going to put that money and distribute it, because everybody had to agree. Do you want to get an allocation annuity? I mean, that's what I meant, annuity, or are you going to take one lump sum? And then you got to figure, and then you had to figure out if you take it as an annuity, which is like 25 years, they give you, that's what an annuity is, or do you get one lump sum check where they take out 40% from the federal, the state, and everything else? And then how is it going to be given and how is it going to be allocated to each person? There's a lot of things that people don't realize when you do stuff like that, especially when it's a group, you know, or even if you want it individually, there's a lot of things you have to factor in to play. People are like, I don't care. I don't care. If their taxes come out, I still got them a couple million. Yeah, that is true. They take out the taxes up front. They say, oh, take it out. The state too. People think federal, but they don't remember unless you live in Florida, Tennessee, or Washington State, or Nevada. Unless you live in those states, you in Texas, you didn't have no state income tax. Other than that, shoo, people are still having to deal with a lot of things, and then they don't realize you working with people. You just don't go down to no office. Okay, you could do that. That was that lady did that lived in this subdivision a few years ago. She lived right here in Water's Edge. I'm sitting here. Somebody in Stone Mountain won the lottery. I jumped up. Oh my God. They lived in Water's Edge. Man, I ran downstairs so fast. I said, oh my goodness. And I looked, I said, I had got the Powerball, the last number or whatever that thing is called, and another number. I was like, God dang it. I said, who the hell won? Who won? And that lady, her last name was Curry. And then she lived in the Bronx too. She lived in the Bronx, up in the same area that I grew up in the Bronx. I was like, what? She was a Jamaican woman. And so next thing you know, they had all the news people and stuff in front of the house. And she drove over in a limo with her family members. I said, damn, she didn't even wait. I said, well, damn. She ain't had a chance to go and get no lawyer, no nothing. She just went all up on the TV. And I said, you know what? I don't think that lady came back yet with that house. I don't know what she did. I know she probably went to Jamaica, went back to New York, and had all those family members. Oh my God, Mama Clyde, you won, Mama Clyde. And then probably spent all that money, and I bet you it's gone. Because it's been a good while now. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been at least, what, 8 years? Because I know I was working at the IRS at the time. 6. It had to be at least 8 years, but it might be, I want to say 8, maybe 9. It's been a minute, put it that way. Put it that way. It's been a minute. And I'm quite sure if you claimed the ticket the next day, drove off to wherever, and you ain't playing, that money was spent. I'm telling you, it might have been nice to be like, oh, I won, but how you manage money when you got $50 is the same way you're going to manage money if you got 50,000, or how you're going to manage it if you have 5 million. Just magnitude. If you're not a person who likes to save money, and you're not budgeting right, and you don't, know how to do investments and stuff like that to make your money grow, you will be eaten up alive by people who ready just to punch. And I'm tired. I've too many people, too many stories, too many things where people lost their money. I was like, damn. Just like that black girl with the fiance in North Carolina. She went to a church and she was on her down and out. And then the church, the minute they found out she won that money, here come the preacher asking for their 15% tithe. And then he took her to court suing. And then the fiance, so-called fiance, he was in and out of jail, took her to court. She lost all that money. She was on Oprah. Bought that beautiful property up there in North Carolina somewhere. And she got, it was nice. I was like, dang. She ended up foreclosing on that big old property and all the cars and all the money. She was, $1 million to bail the boyfriend out and the fiance or whatever. Then the thing with the pastor at the church, and no. So many people said they wish they didn't even win the lottery. They was going through a lot. And I don't know. That's just ridiculous. There's a book called The Lottery. And if you ever read that book, I remember reading that book years ago. It speaks, it's not about the lottery, but it's a classic book. And I'm gonna have to Google it. I can't remember what that book. It was something like a curse type of thing. I don't know. I gotta Google it. I can't remember. It's been long ago. But that book, if you read it, it has some strong analogies about it. But they ain't that important. It ain't that serious. These nuts, you get all mad every time somebody say something. You like, he being negative. I'm leaving. I ain't got time for that drama. That ain't nothing but drama. Just because I say something truthful, I'm being negative. Me being negative. If you win, you win. If you win, I'm quite sure you would not be coming back around here. So, if you win and then you not find out your real name, Delonte, and you won, I would say congratulations, because it ain't like you're going to give me any. So, what I'm worried about it. You win, you win. You don't, you don't. But Teresa do not make her financial planning and retirement on lottery. Because I'm not giving the state of Georgia or anybody else all of my hard-earned money. It just it's sometimes it disgusts me, and I don't know why it be so disgusted about other people. I get so tired of black folks in particular, especially ones they be broke, they ain't got no money, and they spend all of their money, all of it. $50, $60. They ain't just black folks either. Some white folks too. I've been going to these convenience stores when I do these surveys and these merchandising gigs, and people be all up in the. They act like it's a social club. They be all at the table. Yeah, I spent $100 yesterday, but I ain't got no money. And they ain't got money. They ain't got no money for no medication. They ain't got money for groceries. They ain't got money for basic stuff. But they be everlasting that they raggedy. rundown Indian, Asian grocery, I mean, not even grocery store, Asian, Indian stores up in the hood. Be raggedy as hell, stale food on the shelf, but they make most of their money off of alcohol and lottery tickets, exploiting black folks. I be walking, walking, looking around the neighborhood. It'd be these decapitated houses. People don't even own their house; they rent it, and be looking crazy. But they be at that damn um convenience store with the scratch offs. Makes that just disgusts me. That I just don't like um not gluttony, because gluttony you overeat. I can't, I just can't stand wastefulness of people being so careless with money. I mean, I know people spend their money, and that's your money, and that's your right to spend it how you wish. But in actuality, if you're a very spiritual person, the money is not yours. You're just a steward of money. If God bless you with a job to do whatever it is to make that nickel or that coin, you are a steward of that money. You are not to be wasteful and just blatantly throw your money on dumb stuff. Now I know I've been a little careless with my budgeting. Trust and believe. I'm not going to say I'm innocent in anything that I do, but to me, if I was somewhat, struggling financially, I wouldn't spend no money like that. And you could spend $1 here, $2 there, and say, okay, well, if you win something, you win. But if you don't, I'm not spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars every week. No, ain't no way. There's no way. Ain't no way, no how I could justify or I could sit there and condone that. Because I have relatives, they would be doing that mess. My father's side of the family, they used to play the numbers. Before the lottery came out in New York, they used to go to this little place in the hole in the wall, and they would be play 715 or something. It was not legal. It was illegal, but they had these number runners or whatever. And I remember growing up, my aunts and stuff, and my uncles and my father's side, they would play the numbers and stuff, and I never understood it. It was like $2. Put $2 on there. But sometimes people would do it every day on the hour, on the hour. New York got a hold of that mess, and they started having the lottery because they saw millions and millions of dollars coming through these bodegas in the Bronx, or these little game halls in Brooklyn and all these other places in New York, in the inner city. Inner city, they would play these numbers. And I was like, I never understood. I said, well, if they play the numbers, how they know who won and who choose the number? I was always curious. I mean, I wasn't that curious, but I was kind of like, this is a racket. But it's always poor black folks in poor neighborhoods that be doing stuff like that. Meanwhile, Asian people and people of other ethnic groups run these raggedy stores, making good money, and they go to black neighborhoods. You don't see that in white people. You don't see that in white folks. You don't see that in white people. They don't do that. They play games. They play scratch off and lottery too. Don't say hey, they play it too. Yes, they do, but you don't see it to the point where it's, to me, it's exploitation. They sell these raggedy, nasty ass chips and hot ass sodas and cigarettes and lottery tickets. They just barely sell enough goods just to operate, just to sell lottery tickets and scratch offs. Shit, you know. Hmm. But anyway, let me go because y'all ain't saying nothing, and I ain't trying to be on here for 2 hours. It's 10:03, so I want to lay down and look at some other YouTube channels and look at my code academy and see so I can start learning the code. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.